Hey, it's been a while. So you get chickens. Chickens. Here we go, chickens. All right. We get chickens. Okay. So the platinum class metals, man, they're going down. The rhodium's going down. All right. The sell price for rhodium on Kitco is in the 800s. Okay. Um, so that's definitely telling us something. Um, and the chicken's telling me something too. Um, but really, is cash going to become king now? I mean, yeah, that's a very loquacious chicken. But here we go. Yeah, platinum class metals, wow, they're going down, and I think they're more of a leader because there's less speculation on like platinum, palladium, and rhodium. They're more industrial use for those platinum class metals than other precious metals, and they're going down. And I think guys like Robert Prechter might become more in favor. Since I've been on YouTube, it was like the Peter Schiff was right crowd. They were kings for a few years, and then they were wrong. And then we had guys like the stock market guys were right. The stock market guys were right? And now I think that there's going to be a shift. This is what I think. This is what I'm feeling, right? And my obvious disclaimer is I can't see the future, but what I'm thinking is that the stock market run, the risk is really high. So I've got more anecdotal stuff for you. So okay, so I was calling my credit union / bank, and I was talking to the guy there, and he's like saying, hey, he's like, you got a lot of cash in your account. Do you want to talk? We have a free financial advisor, right? And I was saying, well, I talked to this guy a couple years ago. He goes, no, we have a new one. You want to talk to him? So I was talking to this guy on the phone, and he was talking about his trading account and trading stocks. And I said, I'm going to be funny here, but you know the anecdote when small time people like us start talking about the stock market's time to sell. And he said, "Oh no, I'm not like that." He goes, "I'm actually got a degree in finance and I know technical analysis." And he didn't realize that in the big scheme of things, me and him are like the small time people. Just because you have a degree in something and you work at a bank doesn't mean that you are smart money in any way. In fact, in this market, I mean, basically in a market like quote the dumb money are the ones at the bottom. So I mean, if the poorest people are in the stock market are like the college grads with like 1 or 2 years experience, then that's kind of the dumb money of that market. It's a relative thing. So I'll be first to admit that, when I foray into these markets, I'm not considering myself this smart money. And I think this self-awareness gives me more protection, but no guarantee that I won't get killed as much in the markets. So, going back to kind of what's happening. So I remember I've talked about this guy, Damon Vickers, several times, and he was a hedge fund guy. He was big on gold, and then he said gold is done and sold us gold. Then he was in the stock market, and he was for several years, he was saying stock. The productivity gains are real, da-da-da-da. He was repeating all the mantra. Now his mantra is money markets. He's been saying money markets, right? So we'll see if he's ahead of the curve again. He also had moved to Puerto Rico. There was a big wave of hedge funds and people who are well off moving to places like Puerto Rico, and then he returned and with the Puerto Rico default. And I think a lot of people who went abroad might be coming back home, because to be honest, in a real crisis, I would not want to be in a third world country. I would not want to be in a country where the native language is something completely different than my language, right? I mean, that's the way I am. I want to be in a place where I know the people who, the authority figures, right? The local judges, the police, the state employees, right? The cops, right? Cops, police, right? Same thing. is in my area. I know a lot of these people. That's where I want to be. I want to be in a place where I fit in really well, where I'm from, and I'm one of the locals, right? So that's my opinion there. And I think I think the shift is coming in sentiment. I mean, right now, I mean, the feeling is the stock market will go up forever. That's what I'm seeing in a lot of the sentiment. See the chicken? Can you hear the chicken? Chicken's agreeing with me. Yeah. Also, Damon Victors isn't into vegetarianism and being nice to animals. So I'm glad he's seeing the chickens. Is he happy? These chickens? Hey, chickie. Well, they don't want to. They don't like being pet too much. I think because someone told me that like chickens know that you eat meat because they can smell it, and because I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe they can smell that we eat meat, or they just know that they are often food, right? So like these guys know that they're food. But anyhow, so I want to say is look at these the apricots. All right. They're still green. But yeah, I just want to say is I think there's a shift coming. It might not be today, it might not be next week, but I think it's going to be happening this year. And I'm just feeling very risk averse to the stock market, and I think that this call for money markets for this period of time could be the right call. And obviously, as my disclaimer is, no one can see the future, and I can't guarantee anything. But I mean, the stock market had a great run, and from what I've seen is that the targets are never reached. Remember gold 2000? It didn't hit 2000, right? Silver didn't quite hit 50, right? The stock market original projections for the Dow might not quite reach there, or it might overshoot. But I think, based upon my opinion, which I've been trusting less and less the last years, my opinion is I think that the call for money markets, that could be the call for the near future. But of course, buyer beware. If if I'm wrong, then I will suffer the consequences. And if I'm wrong and you suffer my consequences, then that was a decision that you made. So thanks for watching and be well.